Hey everybody, welcome back. First off, thanks for everybody for that subscribing, commenting, sharing. I appreciate it. Trying to find my way on this whole YouTube thing, so eventually we will have a nice camera with good quality and maybe one of those little fancy backgrounds. But for now, we're just gonna make do, and I still feel like it's important that I get topics out to you. So here's another topic. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about cutting cords. This is something that I do a lot for my clients when I'm giving them clearings, like energy clearings. I always cut cords. I cut cords for myself like every day. I have to cut all the cords off of me. Sometimes I'll do it on my lives if you're with me. But what does that mean? Like, what does it mean when we talk about like cutting cords, and why is it important? So I know that some of you may have actually heard this. I don't know. I never really heard anybody really like explain it. I really haven't. I mean, other than like I explain it in my lives, but like I've never seen anybody actually doing like giving a video about it. But I will say we're going to cover why it's important for you to do it for your emotional well-being as well as your spiritual well-being, because energetic cords is what we're talking about. I'm not talking about like a real plug-in cord, but like an energetic cord. These are real. This is honestly, they tend to form when we are having conversations with people without us really even knowing about it. They tend to form around places or experiences. People, places, experiences, they form between all of these elements. Especially if we're in like a really close relationship or maybe a circumstance that really deeply affected us. These are ways, like anything that's really deeply impacted us overall is going to create an energetic cord. So if you've ever felt stuck emotionally, maybe you're emotionally drained as well, maybe just feel stuck altogether, or like, here's one. This one is a biggie. So oftentimes I will have clients that they break up with their boyfriends or significant other, whatever it is, and they're like, I learned from that. I'm never going to do that again. And then they will go right back to the cycle of attracting the same type of person back into their lives. Like, I thought I learned from mistakes. How did this come back? There's a reason for this, because you are probably still energetically tied to that person. So even though we move through circumstances, relationships, lessons, and traumas, we can still be energetically tied to these situations and these relationships. So there's probably times in your lives where you thought, I am so over the situation. And then suddenly a memory or a dream, or even maybe seeing that person randomly again can bring up all these old emotions. That's an energy tie. That is an energy tie. And that's often a sign like that there's still something there. You still have it connected, because it's not stopping you from growing. I need you to understand this. It does not stop you from growing in your life or making certain decisions in your life or or becoming a better person. It doesn't stop you from any of that. It's just that your energy is still connected. So in a way, you are still feeding energy into these relationship circumstances, whatever it is. And because of that, energy attracts energy. So like I'm going to attract, if I'm happy in a high vibe, I'm going to attract other people in a high vibe. If I'm a low vibe, I'm going to attract other people in low vibe. So if you are still vibrating with that energy cord, you're going to still attract energy that's on that same frequency as that energy cord. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what these cords actually are and how they affect your life. And most importantly, how do you cut them? Like, can I do this on my own? Can I not do this on my own? Because my most important thing for you guys always is that you are feeling lighter in your life. Like, we don't need to go around carrying that Dora backpack being like, just put it all in there. I'm just going to keep carrying it. We don't need to do that. So we want to move forward feeling lighter in our life. So what exactly is an energetic cord? Think of it like this. It's an invisible thread that's connecting you to someone or something from your past. That's it. I like to look at it like this, like as if I was an outlet, like a plug outlet, and all these cords and plugs are plugging into me. That's how I like to think of it. But you can also look at it as a thread. And these cords are created through emotional bonds, through love, pain, trauma, attachment, whether these relationships are positive or negative. We naturally will form them in relationships. Honestly, there's really nothing you can do about forming them. You're going to naturally form them in relationships with family members, ex-partners, friends, coworkers, and even to places or situations like maybe you moved from one home to another home. You most likely have an energetic cord still attached to your old home that you need to remove when you move into the new home. Or have you ever moved into a new home and you're like, this home doesn't feel like it's mine, even though I'm here? That home is probably still attached to the other homeowners. So people, places, situations. When a relationship is healthy and balanced, these cords can actually feel really light. So you may not even realize that you have a cord attached. They can be light and maybe even nourishing. But when you have unresolved hurt or unresolved trauma or attachments, these cords can be really heavy, really draining, and they can literally make you feel so tired and exhausted. Today, I had a client who worked with somebody. This person came and worked with them. And this person, they didn't really have like the best relationship, or they didn't end on the best terms, is what I should say. They had a good relationship, didn't end on the best terms. They were coworkers. And when I went in, I could still see cords that this person was attached to them. My client was feeling tired, drained, unmotivated, and they're like, what the heck? Like, I took them out of my life. Like, why do I still feel like this? Like, there was still a cord that was still attached to them. So here's how you can know if you are attached energetically to anybody. And I'm going to tell you guys though, you all are attached to somebody energetically. Even if it's positive or negative, you all are attached to somebody or something or somewhere energetically. But here's an idea. You keep thinking about maybe a person. Okay. So you keep thinking about them even when you don't want to. You feel emotions that don't feel like yours. And this can be like anger, sadness, or even guilt, or when you think about them, you get like this anxiety. You see repeating patterns, like you keep dating the same type of person over and over again. And you're like, why am I doing this? Like, why does this story keep repeating itself? So you're reliving similar conflicts over and over again. Your energy feels drained after thinking about them or even after seeing them. You feel like they're still in your space. It's like, why do I still feel them around me? Why do I still feel so connected to them? I want to know in the comments if you have said any of these things or if you feel any of these things ever. Because it's not about you, like you haven't even physically seen them. Maybe they're not even your physical presence, but you still feel so like, oh, like they're there. So if you resonated with any of these, you probably still have energetic cords attached to them. And that's okay. It happens, like I said, to everyone, to all of us, but the good news is you can release it. So the thing is like, why do I need to cut the cords, even if it's positive? Like, why do I have to do this? Because if you don't, and if I'm going to say if we don't, I'm included, they're going to continue influencing your emotions. They're going to continue influencing the decisions that you are making in your life. And even the type of people who you are attracting in your life. It's like the energetic cords are like part of your subconscious memory. So your subconscious is going to pull that energy to you, even when you're like, that's not really what I want. But let me get this. I'm going to rewind this a little bit. Same thing with subconscious beliefs, meaning you have a way of living life that you are so used to, and it may not be the one way you really want to live your life. But when you find the time and the opportunity to change this, it's like you start making a positive change, you move in a positive direction, and all of a sudden you don't feel safe. You're like, but this is good for me. Why do I not feel safe? Because your body has gotten used to moving a certain way, maybe a toxic way, and it doesn't know how to move in a positive way. And that's where these cords influence us. It's like you're trying to move in a different direction, but your energy is very used to functioning in this direction. So we have to cut these cords and show our energy that it is okay for us to move in a different direction. Okay. So think about it like this. Have you ever also left a toxic relationship? I know you guys have been in toxic relationships. I have been. But then months or even years later, you find yourself dating someone just like the person you left. That's because you're still carrying the energy within you. Until you release that energetic cord or bond, you're unconsciously recreating that same cycle. I am totally guilty. I did this. And I'm going to tell you, you may not see this right away. You may not see this right away. Like, I was married, was not good, and ended up where my next person was mimicking the same things as my ex. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to cut these cords completely. Another way that these show up is through fear. Sometimes we move forward physically, but energetically, we're still stuck in the same old situation, mentally, emotionally. And this can really make us hesitant in trusting people, in loving people again, or even taking risks. So cutting cords doesn't mean you don't love or care about someone. It simply means that you're choosing to reclaim your energy and no longer carry what isn't yours. Last night, I'm gonna give you guys a thing. Last night, I was getting anxiety. I was feeling a certain way about my relationship. I have a good relationship, but I was just like, I don't know. I don't know why I was feeling these anxieties. I was like, I don't like this. I don't know why I'm feeling this. So I learned, let me cut the cord. I want to cut the cord to my current relationship. So I did a meditation. I imagine cutting the cord. I send it back to them with love and light. Always send it back to anyone, whether you're angry, mad at them, with love and light. Don't put hate in there, just love and light. Send it back to them, sealed myself up, called my energy back. And I also did a double round, meaning I went through and I was like, all my exes, cutting cords, sending it back to them just because I wanted to make sure like I'm all good. I feel good. Like, it changed my energy completely. And it also changed the energy of my partner. It will change the energies of your partners and those around you. Watch it. So let's get into what it is to actually process. Like, what is the process of cutting cords? Like, how do you do this on your own? Because if you come to me, I'm going to do Reiki and other energy healing modalities, and I'm just going to cut the cords. Doesn't take long for me, but that's just a little part of what I do. But for you, this is something that you guys can do at any point, at any time during the day. Really, any time that you feel like you're carrying extra weight, you're carrying extra energy that just isn't serving you. The first thing with anything of this stuff is you're going to set your intention. Okay. So always, whether you're meditating, whatever you do, you always need to set your intention. So set the intention that you're ready to release the connection. Like, I'm ready to release this connection from so-and-so or place or situation, whatever it is. So you can simply say, I am ready to let go of any energetic ties that no longer serve me. There, that covers everything. That covers everything. You don't have to name each person. If you want to, you can, just to make it extra detailed, but just simply say, I am ready to let go of any energetic ties that no longer serve me. You're going to find a quiet place. You're going to close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths until you're completely relaxed. I like to almost imagine like a light in my heart and just taking those deep breaths. Deep breaths. That sounded weird. So now visualize that person, the situation, if you want, or the energy that you're feeling connected to. And I want you just to almost imagine like you can see a golden thread or maybe even like an actual cord like attached to that person. Pay attention to the details. It's always like, what does that cord look like? If you can feel it, what does it feel like? Where do you feel it in your body? And I want you just to imagine taking these big golden scissors or whatever it is you feel like with cutting the cord with, and cut the cord. For some of you, it might feel like these cords are really, really thick. And for some cords, they might feel really light. But you can visualize this golden light, or like I said, a pair of scissors, or I'm going to give you a better thing. I'm going to give you a really big trick, is call Archangel Michael in and ask him to use his sword. That's what I do. I ask Archangel Michael to use your sword to cut all these cords away. And just imagine it being completely severed. Just completely severed. So as you do this, send gratitude and love and watch the person and the energy move away. Like I said, always with love and light. After, though, do not skip this step because you just removed energy from yourself. You just completely cut that out. You need to fill it back up. So it's important that you fill up that space with your own energy. So you can do this by imagining that big ball of light just coming down like above your head, just coming down and like filling you up and just breathing until you feel full. Or you can meditate or take a salt bath. And just I like to just put my hands on my heart and breathe, imagining the light pour. That's what I like to do. So once you cut that cords, you can say thank you and end it there. If you'd like to add a little bit more, you can add in some affirmations like, I release all energy that is not mine. I reclaim my power and energy fully. I am free, whole, and sovereign. And just notice the difference. If you guys did this, like, can you put it in there and let me know, like, do you feel a difference? Because honestly, notice the difference. I know now you guys are probably asking, like, I feel great. So how often should I actually do this? It really depends. It really does depend. I do it every day because my job is so connected into healing and giving readings and doing everything. I need to do it every day. Right now, the collective energy is really heavy, so I like to cut cords from collective energy, honestly, every day too. It's a really fresh, like, way of giving giving to yourself. If you recently went through a breakup or a deep emotional wound, you might want to do this daily, weekly, for a while. There's been times through breakups where I have cut cords repeatedly through the day because my mind kept going to the person. And every time my mind would go to that direction, I would cut that cord, or situation, I would cut that cord. But I'd like to say for general maintenance, once a month is a really great way to keep your energy clear. Once a month. So remember, just because you cut the cord doesn't mean the emotions disappear overnight. This is not one of those things where you're going to wake up as a completely new person. It's a process. It's a process, and that's okay. You have to stay consistent on it. So there you go. A little bit about cutting cords. I don't know if you have any questions, put them in the comments, but I hope this video really helps you to understand energetic cords and how they impact your life. Because cutting cords is one of the most powerful things that you can do for your energy, clarity, and peace of mind. You will definitely have more clarity and focus. You might be making certain judgments on things, and when you cut these cords, you might be able to look at it from a completely different perspective, honestly. But yeah, if you have ever experienced an energetic connection that's hard to shake, try cutting a cord. Or maybe let me know, have you tried cutting cords before? What did you do? Did you do something different? I always like to learn with you. But most importantly, if you need deeper guidance, I do offer energy clearings and intuitive coaching, as well as readings to help you fully release and realign. And if it's something you're like, what is that? Go check out my website, but also check out the links below so you don't miss working with me. But don't forget, have to say it, to like this video, please subscribe and hit that little bell so that whenever I post a new video, you won't miss out. But always sending you love and light, and I'm going to see you in the next video. So have a great day. Bye.